What's up, guys? Prince Sports here. Hope you guys are enjoying your day. I got to start it off with either tea, coffee, or hot chocolate. Today, I'm doing hot chocolate. I hope you guys are well over there. Um, I want to talk about the Portland Trailblazers. Now, this is a team that's always been making the playoffs, right? They've always been a playoff contending team. But what can they do to become that next team? What could they do to take their gameplay to the next level, or their to actually be true championship contenders? They're more like pretenders to me. They're not real championship contenders. They're never going to win the championship. Um, you got Dame Leonard, you got C.J. McCullough. Those are two guys you built your team around, right? And most likely you're not going to let those guys go. If you're going to let one go, you can let C.J. go. But I don't think they're going to even let C.J. go. But if they could, that's something that they may want to look into. Um, but let's talk about how can they become a championship contending team. There's a lot of targets that they could go after. One of those targets is Kevin Love. Kevin Love has been rumored and reported to be on the trade block with the Portland Trailblazers for quite some time now. I think he'll make a great fit with those three. All right. Now, before I get more into Kevin Love going to the Portland Trailblazers, there's a nucleus of a team that I think that they should keep. Um, if you're gonna keep CJ, keep Melo too. So I think you should keep those three at the most. Okay, but you do whatever you can to get Kevin Love. This revive his career. This will get him back on the map. This will get him back hot. You know, he's just collecting empty stats on the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's not doing much on that team. Speaking of Cavaliers, I get the a Cavs hat on today. I got a lot of hats. So I wear a bunch of different hats a lot. So that's a pickup that you definitely could make. Now, I'm gonna mention this guy because I put him in a lot of teams that I make videos of, or based off rebuilding, right? But this guy is like a loose end, and nobody is really checking for him. So he could get a new career on many teams. That's why I'm going to throw this guy's name in the mix for the Portland Trailblazers, and that's none other than Demarcus Cousins. I think Demarcus Cousins is a great fit for the Portland Trailblazers. You got nothing to lose. You have everything to gain, nothing to lose. Woo, that's hot. Also, they could use a backup point guard. Um, there's going to be C.J. Augustine. There's Rajon Rondo. There's several players that the Portland Trailblazers could use for a backup. I would get Rajon Rondo. I think the Portland Trailblazers need some playmaking, a guy that could take some pressure off Damian Leonard and probably get, make some plays without him having the ball in his hands. I think Rajon Rondo would be a good benefit for Carmelo Anthony. You definitely should re-sign Carmelo Anthony for another season if you don't let him go. Okay. Here's another thing. You have trade pieces. I don't know who could you put together. You probably get Hassan Whiteside and a couple other pieces, and you could make a trade and go after LaMarcus Aldridge from the San Antonio Spurs. That's a good pickup. Okay, that's definitely a good pickup that you could make. And him with Kevin Love, if you can manage some way to get both of those guys, that'd be great. I don't know if I believe LaMarcus is a free agent, but you could do a sign and trade for him too. Now, I could be mistaken on that. I believe he's a free agent. I mean, that free agent list just keeps going on and on, and it's sometimes you have to you definitely have to keep track of it. Me being the NBA guy that I am, that's something I should remember. But yeah, hey man, sometimes people forget. You know what I mean? But you need a fresh reminder. So I would definitely go after that. And here's another guy I would go after. A guy that nobody's paying attention to. He has all the makings of a feel good story. Isaiah Thomas. You should go after him for another option for a backup point guard. But one of the players that they definitely need to help them would be Kevin Love. Kevin Love on the Portland Trailblazers, and you re-sign Carmelo Anthony is a no-brainer. That makes them a little more. You could take them a little more serious if you get that element on the Portland Trailblazers. But still don't think that's enough. So you would have to make a big move and try to go after LaMarcus. You know, if you could pick him up from the San Antonio Spurs, I don't know how you could go about doing that. You know, you probably could do a trade, give away some pieces or something like that. But if you could get LaMarcus Aldridge with Kevin Love, you got a two big nucleus. You know, I would move Kevin Love to the 5 because he could play that position. He did it in Cleveland, and I would move LA to the 4 position. So that's great. You got Carmelo Anthony coming off the bench. You got 2 big scorers with Damian Lillard and C.J. McCullough. They got a big 3 or a big 4 in that example. That's more than enough to help them get over the hump. They definitely could compete at that point. It would be just up to them to try to win the championship. You know what I mean? They would have to go do the Lakers and the Clippers, of course, who's always going to get better this coming offseason. You know, there's other free agents that you want to look into. Now, these free agents are the ones that stuck out to me the most because they can help a lot of teams. You get Marc Gasol is a good free agent to pick up. I don't know if he's going to re-sign with the Lakers, but JaVale McGee is a good pickup. You know, he's always going to be a serviceable 5. So Portland should get a little big. You know, they should go old school and do what they normally did, like back in the 90s when they had Clyde Drexler. You know, go big. You know, get some of those bigs that I just mentioned. I mean, there's a lot to pick up from. I mean, a lot of teams are going to be in the mix of all these players. This offseason is going to be great for potential all-stars and role players. You know, so if I'm the Lakers, Clippers, Portland Trailblazers, I'm definitely picking those guys up, you know. I'm definitely looking into getting bigger, you know. So you got Demarcus Cousins. That's another guy I just said the Portland Trailblazers. They will have probably the best front line if they could get Demarcus Cousins, LA, and Kevin Love. All 3 of those guys, by the way, are possible to get, okay? It's not like me doing some fantasy stuff. These guys are definitely obtainable because I just told you Demarcus Cousins is he's considered trash to a lot of people. A lot of people just gave up on him. So the Portland Trailblazers could pick him up. Now we all know Demarcus Cousins still could give you 16 to 18 a game, period, if he's fully healthy. You know, Kevin Love could do the same. LA could do the same. But of course their numbers are going to go down. You know, and you can't play all those bigs. You know, one of them will have to come off the bench. You know, that's a lot of bigs, and you know, I'm pretty sure some of them won't be happy with coming off the bench. But if you had to pick one to come off the bench, why not make it DeMarcus Cousins? You know, he has the most to lose because he's injury prone, right? So let him come off the bench, and if he makes a case and he fits in as a starter better, then you start him. But man, if you could get those 3 bigs, you re-sign Carmelo Anthony, you have CJ, you have Damon, you pick up a Rajon Rondo. I'm leaning towards Rajon Rondo because I think he's a perfect fit for this Trailblazers team. That's a championship contending team off the bat. That's a championship contending team, and those are the best targets for the Portland Trailblazers this upcoming season. And you don't even have to go for those guys. If all those guys fail, you could go into Plan B and get Marcus Gasol or try to get JaVale, Demarcus Cousins. Bigs are the way to go if you want to upgrade your roster this upcoming season because a lot of bigs are available. You know, and I didn't even mention DeAndre Drummond. You know, and all these other guys. So because I don't think he's not what the Trailblazers really need. The guys I just mentioned in this video is what they really need. So comment down below and tell me what you think the Portland Trailblazers need to get over the hump, becoming from a fake championship contender to a real championship contender. Peace.